Apple expected to sell at least 20 million iPhone SE2 models in 2020. This is, of course, speculation, but it's coming from Kuo Ming-Chi. That's the guy. This guy's in the news all the time.
Yeah.
He's got something new to say about Apple all the time. We should have him on the show. He can sit over there. Right there.
He is like a prime analyst.
I just want to put Ming-Chi right there. You think he'll come? Somebody tell Ming-Chi. We'll talk about these 20 million. We'll talk about what's next. He's got so much to say. Apple is rumored to be working on an updated, lower-cost iPhone SE2. The name's a bit confusing. This coming via Mac rumors. It's not going to look like an SE at all. Apparently, the form factor, it's going to be like the iPhone 8, which I guess Apple is still selling. I was skeptical of this strategy since Apple started it. This idea of just keeping the old model around as the budget model. Naming and marketing is so important. Big fan of what they did this year, just calling the budget version the 11. And then the other ones are extra. Because the 10R and keeping the old models around with the old names as the budget models, it makes you feel like a second-class citizen. You go out and buy that thing.
It does, yeah.
So even SE2 sounds better to me than iPhone 8. 8, we're on 11 right now. SE, oh, it's special. I'm special edition. That's good enough for me. I like that, and so forth. And the SE, when it first came out, it had its own kind of fandom around a similar thing. If they had just left it as iPhone, 5 or whatever it was based on, it just has less of and it's just a name. Costs you nothing. Mm-hmm. Sit there in the boardroom. You book the boardroom, don't you? It's a big problem in companies, large corporations. How do you book the boardroom? You see that well? Anyhow, you sit in the boardroom, you just take an afternoon, you drink a couple coffees, all of a sudden, SE2. We just change the name on the 8, update the internals, and we sell it for $399. And guess what? Guess how many you sell?
Probably a boatload.
Hey!
So it's not the product, it's actually the name that...
No, I'm just saying. It will be a new product on the inside as well. I'm just saying, let's not downplay the importance of how a product is pitched to you. It's the entire marketing component, which it starts with a product, then goes to a name, then you have a campaign. Just decide how you want to communicate something. And the way it was being communicated in the past, just keeping the old one around in the store. And yes, people were buying it because their budget allowed for it. Let them feel like they're getting something current as well. Because it's not really going to require that much extra from you to just change the name, maybe a couple extra colors, whatever it is, to make it a little bit fresh for that group that's interested in that product. I think it's a good move, and that's exactly what they're doing here. He believes they're going to ship at least 20 million units, maybe even 30 million units, not an insignificant number. He also says it will use a 10-layer substrate-like PCB for its motherboard, which will benefit various iPhone suppliers. So you know Tim Cook, always worried about the supply chain guy. That's what they say, at least. Mm-hmm. So finding efficiencies in that department as well. The rest of it, a lot like the old generation iPhone, 4.7-inch display, single lens rear camera. This is the interesting part. A Touch ID fingerprint sensor. So keep that kicking around, because some people, Trump included, actually, getting back to Trump, he likes the button better. Remember that tweet?
Oh, yeah.
He said, he tweeted at Tim, he subtweeted Tim without tagging him. And he said, hey, Tim. Was it hey, Tim? I don't remember how he started it, but it was beautiful, the casual nature of it. Tim, the button was better than the swipe. Bye. Caps. To Tim. The button on the iPhone was far better than the swipe. Exclamation point. He hasn't tagged Tim, though. No. To Tim. Everybody's got to know who Tim is. Yeah. That had 141,000 hearts on Twitter, by the way, that tweet. That's wild. Anyway, at $399, it will replace the iPhone 8, which Apple currently sells for $449. And you still see those out in public. You still see that form factor out there. Some people are happy with it, Will. And at $399, you know it's interesting. Because as I've said, and I'll continue to say, price is the feature. In 2019 in smartphones, price is the feature, and then everything else comes beneath it. It's so competitive in the marketplace right now.